So I got this check engine light when I bought the truck. He told me that he had some glow plug issues and he gave me 3 glow plugs. So I picked up this scanner and it connects to your phone. You got to download the app and it'll give you all the codes. I'm not going to get too in depth with the scanner, but it's called Innova. I picked it up at Advanced Auto Parts. This is the app Repair Solutions 2, and it connects through Bluetooth. And this was actually pretty helpful. It shows you what cylinder that your glow plug is having problems in. And since everything's stock on this truck, I'm going to go ahead and replace all 8 glow plugs. They're about 20 years old. And went with the OEM GM style. All they do is get hot and preheat the cylinder for cold starting. Best way to get at them is through the fender liner. You got 4 on each side. You can get a trim removal tool from Amazon. And you gotta get out all these push pins. You gotta separate the push pin and then the rest of it will come out. I would just buy a bag of these and replace them all when you go to put it all back together. There's a clip that holds the fender liner on right here. You have to slide it. You have to push it off and slide it out the way. Then you just got this little clip holding a wiring harness in and 2 10mm bolts holding the bottom of the fender liner. Now this last one was corroded, so I had to use some penetrating oil. I prefer to use Blaster and just spray it on there, let it sit for a minute, and it came out pretty easy. So you got the 4 glow plugs on each side. I go ahead and hit these with the Blaster as well. You'll have a better time getting them out. Next, you got to take the wire off the end of the plug. It's a 7mm socket, and you got to be real careful because I tried getting fancy for the camera with the double chopsticks, and there you go, lost the nut right in the heat shield, and you can't really get your fingers in there. Good luck trying to get a magnet in there. So if this happens to you, what I ended up doing was getting a rubber mallet, just tap that heat shield and it'll vibrate the nut out of there. Now you just got to get a deep well 12mm socket and you can get the whole plug out.
He's gonna upgrade it so making it look very cool. He's gonna be good last, but
Now, I just pulled out the old glow plug and matched it up with the new one just to verify that everything was the same. And before you go and put it back in, I like to use some anti-seize. You're going to thank yourself later when you go to replace these again or for the next guy. And it keeps things from getting corroded, especially if there's a lot of salt in your area or you're using an application where it gets really hot. You can get a lot of corrosion and it gets seized up in there. So once you got that in, you just got to put the wire back on, and I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of them. So while I'm in here with the fender liner off, it makes it real easy to get to the fuel filter. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that. Here's the part number. It's just GM style OEM fuel filter. And you'll have to replace the O-rings. Use some grease to keep that O-ring in the top there because it tends to fall out. And you need to take the water sensor off, and this has actually got a water drain valve on it, and swap it to the new fuel filter and put a new O-ring on. All right, now that you got the fuel filter replaced, you got to crack the bleeder screw. You can use a flathead screwdriver. If it's stripped out like mine, you can get a 13mm socket and just crack it. And then on top of the filter housing, you got a plunger in there. You can actually push this and it'll prime the filter to get all the air out. So you don't have to fill these up and then put the fuel filter on. I just went ahead and left it empty and gave my fingers a workout and go ahead and just start pumping this thing. You'll know when you're done because you'll start getting some air bubbles and then a steady stream of fuel. And then just tighten up the bleeder screw. All right, so now you can start your truck up or check your scanner again and just verify all your codes are gone and you got no more check engine light. And then you can reset your fuel filter life. This is just quickly how I did it. You just got to hold that button down after you navigate to the fuel filter menu and it'll reset to 100%.